which is an uncomfortable experience. An uncomfortable experience, camera dark.
Embarrassment, discomfort, humiliation, rubber gloves. These are things that no man should have to endure. Yet increasingly men everywhere are being subjected to these very things. Ladies and gentlemen of the audience, fellow Toastmasters, honorable judges, it is time to break the silence. And so this evening, I am going to share with you my very personal, actual experience with these things that you may learn. It all began earlier this spring. It was one of those rare, wonderful moments where my wife and I were sitting, drinking tea, our 3 children playing quietly in the other room, and we were discussing our plans for our upcoming 21st wedding anniversary celebration. It was then that my wife first uttered the word spa. My reaction was visceral. An icy clenching deep in my bowels. I knew something was horribly wrong. But then she smiled at me. One of those warm, soft, green-eyed, shimmering smiles. And I got all distracted. Oh, that I had heeded those first pangs of warning. Hotel reservations were made. Dinner reservations were made. Several hundreds of dollars were spent on spa services. I was committed now. So we sat one evening and we logged on to the website. Well, this didn't look too bad. There was a whole section just for men. Masculine-looking men, they weren't wearing robes, with amazing titles like Sport Foot Care and Razor Burn Face Rescue. I think I can do this. Okay. I was still feeling a little tenuous, but my wife was right beside me and she looked me in the eyes and she promised me she would be right there beside me the whole time. It would be great. She lied. The day arrived, we drove up island, we arrived at the spa, and we were led to a small waiting room. Given a clipboard with a form to fill out. There were a lot of very strange questions on that form. I read it rather quickly. They were somewhat embarrassing. Lots of questions about different waxes and allergies, and I just didn't want to get into it. So I rushed through the form, and then I headed off to shave. I'd been told I needed to be clean-shaven for what was about to occur. So I gave my clipboard to my wife, and I left. And when I came back, she was gone. My clipboard was left carelessly on the corner of a table, and she was nowhere. So I picked the clipboard up, and I clutched it to myself, and I waited. And soon, I was led to a small room. There was a very attractive white robe, a pair of becoming slippers, and I was asked to change. And as that door closed behind the person on their way out, I realized I had not been properly briefed. What was I supposed to do? What was spa protocol? How much was I supposed to take off? How much was I supposed to leave on? I realized I had squandered the entire drive up island. All these questions I could have asked, but didn't. And then I realized I hadn't properly briefed myself. You see, It was a really hot day, and there'd been talk of perhaps stopping for a swim on the way up island. So I wasn't wearing anything but swim trunks and a t-shirt, and I didn't have a lot of options. I got changed, I went back and waited, and soon I was led to a room where my first procedure would take place. It was intimidating. There was all this equipment, and it was shiny, and instrumentation. It looked more like a science lab than somewhere you're supposed to get relaxed. I determined to close my eyes and not look. It was bright, it was dark, there were sharp stinging and strange sickly sweet smells, and at one point this strange hissing thing that sounded like a cappuccino machine sprayed me with I don't know what. This young woman rubbed my face and my neck, and that felt pretty good, but a little uncomfortable. I don't really have a category for physically pleasurable sensations induced by a woman other than my wife. Then she started to rub my shoulders and my chest. Was that in the brochure? I don't remember from the description. We soon went to have our hands done. My wife was still nowhere to be found. There were some other women there, and they began to speak, and I accidentally started listening, and then quickly determined that I wasn't going to listen to anything else they were saying. Soon my wife arrived. I was so happy to see her. I let out a sob of relief. We sat together, and she looked at me and asked me this question. So, how was it? How do I answer that? It's really good to see you. All pretense at masculine marketing had been dropped. It was now, how was your facial? How was your manicure? How are you enjoying your pedicure? Would you like some nail polish? No! I don't want polish. Do you have any idea how hard it is to get away from someone with nail polish while you're trying to hold your robe closed? In conclusion, I want to make 3 quick points. Point number 1, the spa is no place for a man. Point number 2, if you do find yourself at the spa, please make sure you're properly briefed. Point number 3, try the bathrobe. It's what I'm going to try next time I go to the spa.